Hello everyone, today we will speak about scientific English. World science is dominated today by a small number of languages, including Japanese, German and French, but it is English which is probably the most popular global language of science. This is not just because of the importance of English-speaking countries such as the USA in scientific research. The scientists of many non-English speaking countries find that they need to write their research papers in English to reach a wide international audience. Given the prominence of scientific English today, it may seem surprising that no one really knew how to write science in English before the 17th century. Before that, Latin was regarded as a lingua franca for European intellectuals. The European Renaissance is sometimes called the revival of learning, a time of renewed interest of the lost knowledge of classical times. At the same time, however, scholars also began to test and extend this knowledge. The emergent nation states of Europe developed competitive interests in world exploration and the development of trade. Such expansion, which was to take the English language west to America and east to India, was supported by scientific developments such as the discovery of magnetism. Perhaps the most important scientific revolution of them all, the new theories of astronomy and the movement of Earth in the relation to the planets and stars developed by Copernicus. England was one of the first countries where scientists adopted and publicized Copernican ideas with enthusiasm. Some of these scholars, including two with interests in language, John Wallis and John Wilkins, helped found the Royal Society in 1660 in order to promote impartial scientific research. Across Europe, similar academic and societies arose, creating new national traditions of science. In the initial stages of the scientific revolution, most publications in the national languages were popular works and educational textbook and translations. Original science was not done in English until the second half of the 17th century. For example, Newton published his mathematical treatise known as the Principia in Latin, but published his later work on the properties of light, optics, in English. There were several reasons why original science continued to be written in Latin. The first was simply a matter of audience. Latin was suitable for an international audience of scholars, whereas English reached a socially wider but more local audience. Hence, popular science was written in English. A second reason for writing in Latin may previously have been a concern for secrecy. Open publication had dangers in putting into the public domain ideas which had not yet been fully exploited by the author. This growing concern about intellectual property rights was a feature of the period. It reflected both the humanist notion of the individual and there was something of a social distinction between scholars and gentlemen who understood Latin and men of trade who lacked a classical education. And I guess you understood why English became so popular between the among the world, why it is so useful for us, and that I guess the information was useful to you. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.